welcome and happy Friday. I'm so excited to have you join me today. I am here with Coach Lee Hopkins, who is a specialist in bringing your authentic self to your business and why that's important. And I really just wanted to share a couple of things before I hand it off to Coach Lee to really give us some tips and tricks on how to do that successfully and how that's really worked for my audience. And what has and hasn't worked for me. And I think being much more authentic has always worked better. So years ago, I participated in an MLM and I was selling makeup and I loved the makeup. And that was the whole reason I was in the MLM. I wanted the discount on the makeup. And I know, right?
A good reason to be, and it's strategic.
But my upline, great at what they did and building their teams, really wanted me to build a team and really wanted me to connect differently than I am used to connecting with folks. And I remember the day I was on a call and they're like, well, Kathy, if you're just writing someone in a message in a DM, talk about it as, hey, girlfriend. Well, those of you that know me, I'm not a hey girlfriend kind of gal. Like it's so not me. I may say hey y'all. I may say hey, but I am not the girlfriend with the attitude kind of gal. And not showing that really kind of set a definition to our relationships with my upline. They were very used to women taking their advice and going directly with it. And I had to find my own voice and I had to find women that were a little more mature and a little more my audience in order to sell the makeup. Well, eventually it became one of those things I didn't really want to sell makeup. And I decided to step away from that MLM and really go back to things I loved. But it was really an eye-opening moment to me because everything that we did was so scripted. And I had to take every single script and modify it and manipulate it to be me and my voice. And it just got exhausting. And pretending to be who you're not is exhausting. And you have to remember all the lies and misinformation you might be putting out there in your non-authentic self. Where if you're self, you never have to remember that because it's just who you are.
Absolutely.
So that was my big eye opener on being authentic. Growing up, in high school, I never quite felt like I felt in and I fit in. I was yearbook. I wasn't in cheer. I wasn't popular. And I go back to high school reunions and everybody talks about how popular I was. And I was like, did we have the same experience? I did. A year ago, I had another reunion and I literally sat there at the table and I was like, I don't think we were in the same school and had the same high school experience. I don't remember being popular and I never felt popular.
Wow. Isn't that interesting how people have different experiences of you when you're like, no, this isn't, how did you, what? It's essentially, you're pretty
You thought
stunned.
what?
Yeah, they're pretty stunned about it. And like, you know what I like about your story and I find interesting as it overlaps to my story is that piece of authenticity. There's so much of us missing our authentic selves, or we're constantly being told that we need to do XYZ or follow the script that society has already set out for us. And so you pushed back against that to say, this doesn't feel right to me. And we've also been taught not to think about how we feel either. They've been taught to just, well, this is what's going to sell. You want to sell, don't you? Hey, girlfriend. Oh, that's not worth any money to me.
Yeah. I have people now tell me I need to be on TikTok. You'll sell a ton of travel on TikTok. No, I don't need to be on TikTok.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy doing it, if it doesn't feel good to you, no matter what it is, and this is what I discovered in my business, if it doesn't feel good to you and you put it out there, it's going to repel the people who really would be attracted to you just being your authentic self. And the other people are going to sense, this smells fake. This smells fake. It doesn't seem authentic, and you're going to lose business, and you're going to lose a bit of a sense of uh, the word I'm looking for is something about engagement or excitement for the work that you do. You're gonna lose like enthusiasm for the
Enthusiasm. Yeah,
work
you
that you
really
do.
do. It feels like a drain instead of a joy. And I really do love what I do. But I know we met a couple weeks ago, and your story was so motivating to me. And I do think it's really important that folks define their ways of becoming authentic because it's a different journey for all of us. And I
Mm.
really wanted to share that with the small business owners that I work with because it is critical for them sharing their story and being successful in their business. So for those of you in my audience that haven't met him before, Coach Lee Hopkins, and I'll let him take over.
You're gonna let me take over completely? Okay. Well, you're gonna be here, so I'm gonna
I'm
talk
here.
to
I'm
you.
here and I am like participating along, but you are the leader of this show.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kathy. It was a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me to share with your audience. As far as authenticity and my business, and just authenticity, period, my person, I struggled with it for so many years, for so many decades. I just didn't know what to do or what to be. I looked around for other people to give me clues to figure it out because I've seen groups of people um, connect and have friendships. Oh, by the way, what I do, I'm a social connections coach. By the way, I help people make more meaningful relationships in their personal and professional life. And this is a bit of my story where I struggled and I watched other people connect and they had groups of friends. And I saw on TV that you can resolve any issue in 30 minutes thanks to those 90s TV shows, those 90s sitcoms, Full
Yeah.
House and Step by Step, all of those shows.
It's the highlight reel.
Yeah, the highlight reel, essentially. There's so much work that goes into it and their sense of self that needs to be built before you actually are able to say yes or say no, or even know what it is that you want to say no to. And so, personally, on a personal level, to have to discover that about who you are before you get into this business side of it, because there are so many people in this business, and I know you've seen it, Kathy, for yourself. When you start a business, there's so many people that are going to say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do the next thing. Doesn't matter what you feel, this is what's going to make money. And you might get caught up in thinking that I need to make money because it's your business, it's your livelihood. But it's going to be painful and awful for you. And you probably started your business because you wanted to leave the painful office, the life of working in an office or working for someone else. You have an idea that inspires you and you're excited and you want to share that with another person, but here's all these other things that are happening, all these other ideas, all these people pulling and pushing and saying that you need to do it this way. Breathe. It's intense. It's
It's
intense.
intense. It
It's intense.
100% is. And when you step away from corporate, if you haven't cash flowed your business yet, so you haven't built it as a side business and expanded,
Mm.
it is a terrifying journey. You're literally jumping off the cliff and putting it out there to the universe. But the secret tells us what we put out to the universe, it in our authentic ways will come.
Yes, I love The Secret. That's such a great movie, book. I don't know which one you've experienced, but I've watched the movie and it's
Mhm.
been profound. And for those of you who don't know about The Secret, it's the law of attraction in which you put out there, you receive. And if you are consciously believing that you can do something, then you'll get it. You'll get the results. You'll get the results that you're looking for. But if you don't know what it is that you're looking for, if you can't say yes to the things that feel good to you, I think one of the caveats of the law of attraction is that if you are feeling downtrodden and you're feeling frustrated about your business and what other people are telling you to do and you're not really sure, you are going to get a whole lot more of it. It's going to come to you in tenfolds. But if you just take a moment to recognize like this is authentic, this feels good to me. When someone says you need to be on TikTok, you sit with this information. You don't have to dismiss it right away, like, that stops us from growing and learning. But we would examine it and say, what do I like about TikTok? What do I think? How is this going to grow my business? Where is my authentic self going? And how would I feel about being in this space on TikTok? If it's no's across the board, then we just push TikTok away because there's something else out there that is going to bring you the results that you want that feels good to you.
So, how does someone recognize what their gut and authentic self is telling them that they need to do? What are some tips?
So, some tips to really understand more about yourself is something I teach my clients is strategic vulnerability, where you open up and you share just a little bit. And you have to really discover what that little bit is. Like if you're interested in something, you got to go try and test and be very, very intentional about sitting with it and learning how you feel about it. Don't just receive a whole lot of different ideas, just one at a time. And you'll get really, really good. Like, I know that this feels good to me. Let's say if you're advertising for your business and you have all of these different social media platforms to choose from: LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and you don't like being on camera. Well, you probably wouldn't choose TikTok. You probably wouldn't choose YouTube because those are the places where they require you to be on camera.
Even
You prob-
Instagram's a little iffy there.
Even Instagram. Yeah, even Instagram. I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to do those things. You may rule those things out. And you may start looking at LinkedIn for long form, Facebook for long form because you like to write. So just realizing that there are some things that you really want to do. And also, I would say about this also from the marketing piece, just a little tidbit that I discovered. There are some accounts on TikTok that you can create where it's no face and just a bunch of text. That's something that you can get into too. That's where the curiosity piece comes in, but it's you being authentic. I don't want my face on camera, and stick to that authenticity. There are other ways to get the results that you're looking for as long as you stick to that authenticity. So I recommend just one thing at a time and sitting with it to understand how you really feel about it. Does it feel good to you? Is it going to get you the results that you're looking for?
I think that's great advice. 20 years in project management, when we focus our energies,
Mm.
we have much more success and we are able to recognize if and when we're ready to pivot.
Absolutely. You have to be able to do that. The world is so noisy and there are so many experiences that you could have, the shiny object syndrome, the fear of missing out. You can fall into those things, but if you don't have the focus on who you are and what you want, the rest of the world or the rest of your experiences are going to be a little frustrating for you because you're out
Yeah.
there looking. I'm looking for something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So, what else would you tell a small business owner about being authentic and bringing that into their business?
Oh, definitely. The authenticity is absolutely key because if you are talking to a client, let's say you're a coach like I am, and you get on this sales call and someone really, really, really wants your help. And then you think about how they might be the worst clients you've ever experienced, but they really, really, really want your help. And you want to think about how you're going to feel with being with this client, working with this client. Always you and your authenticity first. So, how do I feel? How am I going to work with this client? Are they going to listen to me? Is it going to be a good interaction? Is it going to feel good to me? Don't think about the money. I know I just said those words to you,
It
but
is really hard as a small business owner when you need the cash to say no to an open client that's like, please take me on.
please, please take me on. But I want you to consider your authentic self here in this case is feeling good in the business that you do and you enjoy the people that you work with. And if you do not get the results that this client is suspect or that they want from you, if you're not able to help them get the results, it's going to damage your business anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to damage your business anyway. So you don't want to do that. You want to be authentic. The right people will definitely come to you. And I've been in that situation where I really, really wanted the client and I took them on. And it was
I think we've all done it once. And, I think every single one of us has regretted it.
absolutely. We didn't get much accomplished. Our sessions were not great. And I will just never do that again. I won't do that again. I won't compromise. And I found that the money just wasn't worth it. It didn't feel good to me. And I started my business because I wanted to feel good in what I do. And I really wanted to help people. And look, I failed at helping this person anyway.
Now, I know you used, and I'm blanking on the term, you used a very specific term for your personality, introverted.
Oh, I didn't even know. but I will. I'm introverted.
You described yourself and your ideal customer in a very unique way, and I'm trying to remember what that term was, because you will absolutely find a number of people out there that are the same and don't know it. And
Yeah,
I
I wish that our conversation was recorded because I don't recall that, but I do describe myself as a person with an analytic mind and a empathetic heart. And so that is perhaps something, and it wasn't introverted.
yeah,
And
maybe
then
it was
it is introverted, introspective.
introspective.
Mm, somebody in the
It's
chat
going to
tell
come to me
me.
like later on, and I'll interrupt our whole conversation.
It'll come to you later, and I hope for it. And maybe it won't. Um, So maybe it will come to you later and we'll discuss it because I'd like to know, like, super curious about that. But my clients are definitely those who spend a lot of time inside of their minds and they're constantly thinking about what is the right step. What am I going to do next? How is this going to look? And they spend so much time imagining that they don't bring it to the real world. They don't take inspired action on it and bring it into the real world. So it's really important to be able to just try something and keeping your heart in mind, like how you feel about your experience. And we're looking for the joy in our experiences. We're looking for the fun things. And if it doesn't feel good to us, then it's a lesson there. It's always a lesson to be learned.
And I'm guessing it's a journey for everybody.
Oh yeah, it's a journey. It's
And some days, probably, you might fall back on bad habits and have to fight that self.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So when you're on this journey, what I like to visualize is that you're going up, and you reach a certain point where it just feels maybe daunting, or you miss the last piece, and you're going to go back and you're going to go down, but you will never go as far. You'll never go down here, down
Yeah.
below. I used to use my board up here to draw out these concepts, but you'll go up, and you started down here, but you're not going to go all the way back down because you've learned.
You've
And
taken
then
a
you pick
couple
yourself
steps
up
back,
and you
but
go up,
not full.
you
Yeah.
go up a little more. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a journey for all of us. So when you go down and you go back to those past patterns, you remember that this isn't what I wanted. I remember that it doesn't feel good to be here, and I can always make a decision to change it. You can always make a decision to change it.
Now, for the solopreneur, having a network is super important. So, having a coach like yourself or others that are going to cheer you on this journey, what recommendation do you have if someone doesn't have a coach and isn't necessarily looking for a coach in finding people to kind of cheer them on as they're struggling?
Oh, well, get out of your head. That's what I would say. It sounds like me. It sounds like for my first year of my business, I basically did that exactly. I actually hired a business coach and I worked with them and I saw them maybe once a week. But the rest of the time I was working by myself thinking that I know what my audience needs and wants, and I didn't sell anything. And I felt very isolated and alone. So what I recommend that you do is start networking. So you don't want to hire a coach right now. Fine. You want to go discover and explore and see what else is out there. Talk to other business owners who have been in your position. So I have a networking group called the CEOs Networking, and we meet on the first Thursdays of the month, where you'll meet other business owners and you'll be able to talk to them about their experiences. So you'll learn something I always have somebody give a presentation about something
Mhm.
that's related to business,
Yeah.
and you'll learn something that will help you grow. And then you talk to other entrepreneurs, solopreneurs in the one-on-one breakout sessions, one-on-one after you leave, but also breakout sessions to meet people. But the important thing is that you've got to get out of your head and talk to other people and have that learn from their experiences. So that's what I highly recommend that you do.
Yeah, and really, I guess, recognize they're not alone, and others have had this exact same experience. So you're, I don't want to say you're not special because everybody's special, but this experience is not a good special that you want to be. You want to
Yeah.
share it with others.
Yeah, I would say that. That I like that. Not special. You're not special. You're not super unique in the way that nobody understands how you feel.
Yeah,
Somebody out there gets it, and somebody out there has figured it out, and that somebody wants to tell you how to do it for yourself. Find that person. Find those people. I also have a summit coming up. I wonder if I could share a bit about that.
absolutely.
Oh, okay, great. So I have a summit that is specifically designed for that problem. So I have two summits a year. I help people with the social connections in the both personal and professional life. And the professional life is happening this September, 26th and 25th and 26th. And we are going to have all kinds of amazing speakers to help you understand more about you and your business, get sales, marketing training, learn more about your emotional health and physical health so that you can be well rounded. And also, the important thing about this is called the Social Connection Summit because there'll be breakout sessions specifically for business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and those who are just burnt out working in the corporate environment to talk to each other. So you're not alone in this experience. You want to talk to each other and have some support going forward.
And are
It's meant
those
for that.
breakout sessions topics based so people can decide what makes the most sense for them to break out in, or how do those work?
Yeah, well, we have topic sessions. We have topic sessions. Well, actually, our Q&A. So let me back up a little bit and say about our speakers. We'll have speakers that'll speak for about 10 to 20 minutes. And after that, there will be a Q&A. There are
Okay.
10-minute Q&A. So we want to foster lots and lots of conversation, lots and lots of conversation. So with that, they're going to be able to take what they've learned into these breakout sessions with others. But it really is meant to get to know each other. So it's something more than small talk. So there's
Yeah,
small talk. Hey, how are you doing? How'd you get
yeah,
here? But more connected on why are you here in the first place, and how are you like me, and how can we support each other? So they may hear something from our speakers. We have Bridget Holm, who is a bestseller, who talks about closing deals in 30 minutes. We have Joy Langley, who is an emotional intelligence coach, who is going to be talking about how emotional intelligence helps you make better business decisions, as we're talking about here,
mhm,
how you feel, stop getting burnt out. We have Dr. Donna Bellinger, who'll show you how to entice your prospects so that you can get paid what you're worth. So all those things that you're struggling with as an entrepreneur, you don't have to struggle alone. And then you can talk to somebody else about that, a regular entrepreneur like you, about how it's working for them in their business or not working, and support each other in those ways.
that's great. And we will make sure we have the link to that event out in the comments and feed notes for this video. So
Absolutely. So I'd love it if you all come. I'm sure that, you know what, I can give a discount for your audience.
that'd be
Don't
fantastic.
tell your audience. Don't tell anybody else. It's just for Kathy's audience, okay? Just for Kathy's audience. Let's say we'll give a 50% discount for you all.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's super, super, super generous. So
absolutely. It's always a joy to have you here. And I want you audience members to know, because you might be afraid of investing or doing something to really connect with other people, but this is worth it. The tickets are already very reasonably priced. And because you're a member of Kathy's audience, it's this way for being odd. It's this, it's this way. You're a member of Kathy's
you offered
audience.
me.
You're a member of Kathy's audience. It's because I value her and her network, and I want to pass that on to you.
No, I appreciate that, and my network will very much appreciate that. You know, we solopreneurs can be scrappy, and so it's always helpful to like get to attend things and find ways to save just a little bit. So everybody will really appreciate that. Thank you. Now,
Absolutely.
any other things that are like final tidbits before we kind of wrap up here that you want the audience to know? I know we talked a little bit about, get out of your own head, go out and meet people in your local community, participate in online networking events if you're not quite ready to venture out into the local community. Anything else?
Um, all I can really say is that the authenticity and knowing yourself is going to carry you a long way in your business. So you may be overwhelmed and thinking that I have to do this, I have to do that, this must happen. I'd like you to consider thinking about how you can change your mindset to I get to do this, I get to do that. And you get that way because it feels good to you. So spend time with yourself saying, this is what I get to do. This is what I enjoy doing. and it's going to change how you feel about your business. It's going to change who you attract to your business, and it's going to improve your health overall.
Yeah, it's going to change your day. Like just knowing you have opportunities and you don't have to, you get to do things. And some of those things, let's be honest, we don't all like to do all the things. I am not a marketer, but it is part of being in a business. You have to put yourself out there so people know you exist. And finding your way that you are comfortable with just ties in perfectly here. You know,
Absolutely.
I have stopped, I did not go to TikTok. I have stayed away from the hey girlfriend comments. And really truly, you know, I'm even continuing to fine tune those networks that I'm out on, just for the sheer fact that that is where the people I relate well to are. So, someone wants to connect with you, Coach Lee. Where are they best to reach you? Website, LinkedIn? How can we reach you?
Well, you can find me at patternsofpossibility.com. That's my website. I'm mostly on TikTok and LinkedIn. You can also find me on Reddit at Patterns of Possibility everywhere. That's where I am, Patterns of Possibility, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. And I go live 3 days a week as well to answer your questions on those platforms.
Oh, great. So, if people have some questions, they can pop on any of those platforms and catch you.
Absolutely.
Perfect. And I would just encourage you, if you are struggling in this journey to find who you are and how you want to represent yourself in your business, reach out to Coach Lee. It really is a journey, and you need to find your unique being and what you personally bring to the table. It is how you attract your perfect customer. And I use the term perfect, not ideal, because it really is who will respond best to what you have to offer
Hmm.
and be able to accept that. And it's a gift to them. So just think of it that way.
Absolutely. Well said.
Well, thank you. With that, we will go ahead and wrap up. But please reach out to Coach Lee on Reddit or TikTok. I won't be catching up on TikTok with you, but
You,
maybe LinkedIn again. And bring your authentic self to your business and reach out on those channels if you have questions. And I will get the summit information into the video notes. And we want to thank you for your time and energy this Friday afternoon and have a wonderful weekend.
all
Talk to you
right.
guys later. Bye bye.